sorry we had to reschedule this. The one time we had to reschedule because of you, and then the one time I had to reschedule because of me. Like I got fucked over by YouTube really hard. Oh, we're live. Hold on. They it was like they owed me a payment, and then they said they were going to send the payment, but then they never sent me the PIN for my AdSense account, so they're putting my payment on hold. So it's crazy. But anyway, I'll play the intro. Here we go, guys. We're live. And okay.
Welcome to Typical Skeptic Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
That's hot in here. I gotta step off the camera for a second. Change shirts. It's too hot in here. Cool.
Hey guys, welcome back to another show of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. Sorry about the shaky intro, and it never goes good with the intro, but I'm glad everybody's here. It's going to be a special holiday edition with my good friend, my brother from another mother, Tommy Edwards. Tommy is one of my favorite guests to have on the show. A little bit about Tommy. Tommy and his father set records at Virginia Tech for football. He also speaks out against CTE and mental health. He's a targeted individual, but he's also been involved in Black Ops programs, since childhood. He talks about that. And, I'm not even sure where we're going to go with this conversation tonight. He might play some live music, but it's always good to have Tommy on the show. I consider him a really close friend. And, he's always just brings an amazing show. And, it's good, Tommy. It's good to have you, man. Happy holidays. How are you?
Happy holidays to you. It's good. I'm doing well. I'm excited. My son's coming to visit here just at the beginning of the year for a few days, and just excited, getting ready for that, and trying to get a bunch of stuff done in my house so it's more presentable to his mom, and
Yeah. So how's what's going on with the targeting? Are you still getting targeted really bad?
All the time, man. I mean, the times that are worse than others.
Yeah,
but it's just part of the landscape at this point. Like I went out of town for a couple of days and came back. Things are moved around,
Yeah,
it's never ending. Like I had somebody doing some work in my house, helping me with some stuff, and he was acting like he was being targeted, and but coming in and moving stuff around and just gaslighting me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was acting like a handler.
Well, he was acting like a fucking prick is what he was doing.
Yeah.
A handler, maybe somewhat, yeah. But he's just, he was acting as if he was being remote and monitored, and he may be, I don't know. But he was thinking, he started acting against me in ways that he knew have heavy, impact. Because I talked to him about the tactics and stuff, and the things that are leveraged against TIs, and it's a way to waste your time, waste your resources. It's a way to isolate, further isolate you, and it's all based on East German Stasi Zersetzung, which means which is German for decomposition. So the goal is to strip you of everything and to totally decomposed and neutralized, and that way they can have plausible deniability, but also they harvest telemetry data and all kinds of shit that's used for the future targeting and of everybody through Skynet, essentially. I mean, like that's maybe not what they call it, but that's the concept of Skynet.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's what's really going on behind the building at Skynet.
That, and there's like, there's wagering, it's entertainment for wealthy folks to fuck with people,
Yeah. 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 Well, I was going to say, you've been involved in these programs your whole life, right? Like you found out, like, I was thinking maybe we could recap a little bit. You found out you were involved in like early Black Ops stuff because your grandmother was involved in like Black Ops programs, or your grandmother had cosmic clearance, right? Or something like that.
She had crypto clearance, and she worked for the Department of Defense and Department of Energy at the Radford Army Ammunition Plant, and she'd worked for the government since she was 16. My dad and his siblings grew up, they're on, they're going to her. They couldn't go to her office per se because it was in a deep underground facility that you had to have clearance to get in. But I remember my grandmother taking me there as a kid on several occasions, and I never could get any confirmation or like just like confirmation. It wasn't until 2022 that I met somebody else that shared some of their experience, and their dad had worked at the Arsenal as well, and worked in Ardesia, which is the underground facility there. It's where I think BlackRock has they've got an HQ set up there now, conducting clandestine activities. But so her boss was very interested in my dad, and was trying to get him to go to what Army, I'm drawing a blank. It's like the Naval Academy for the Army, up in New York. And he didn't really have any interest in military, so he intentionally didn't take a specific class that he would need for that route. But and then my grandmother's boss, I'm pretty sure it was a different person at this point, but had taken a lot of interest in myself, in my interest in I had a heavy interest in military as a kid, starting about first grade maybe. I started collecting military surplus and played Army all the time, and that was something I wanted to do with my life, was to go into the going to the Army and special forces or something, And then when I was in high school, I was heavily recruited by the Naval Academy, and my cousin was a senior there at the time, and my dad's sister's oldest, and the recruiter told me specifically that they wanted me for naval intelligence, and I was an All-American running back, and I had board scores, and I could get in on my own accord if I had tried. But I had an appointment to the Naval Academy, which I turned down. But my dad ended up going to Tech. I ended up going to Tech too, which is also a former military school with long history of ROTC and connections with Central Intelligence Agency and DARPA research, and skullduggery and fuckery.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you, Rob? Tell us about you.
There's not much to tell. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've had things happen to me, but like, I think I'm memory wiped, Yeah. I mean, I feel targeted a lot, for sure. But like, it's always weird stuff. You know what I mean? It's always like weird, like it's always weird stuff to where like, if you tell someone about it, they'll think you're crazy. So I just let it go. But it's always something like technology, you know what I mean? Like YouTube messing with the money. It's always something. It's always finances, technology, people outside my house. You know what I mean? It's always something. You know what I mean? It definitely is. Like I just like, I don't want people to think that I'm like losing my marble. You know what I mean? I don't know.
The whole targeting, in general, it's designed to make people question your sanity, and it's designed to make you question your sanity. That's the whole purpose of it. Is to render the person like, it's to destroy their credibility.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a huge thing. That's like, that people don't realize. Especially if you are a whistleblower, or like you do something like you do, you shine a spotlight on a lot of fringe subjects within the conspiracy world,
Yeah.
And it's like my mentor Daryl used to say, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean somebody isn't out to get you. And just because they call it a conspiracy theory doesn't mean it isn't an actual conspiracy.
Yeah.
Which is, when two people conclude to break the law, two people or more.
Yeah. Like, and I feel like I've definitely had girlfriends who've been like handlers. You know what I mean? They create a psychological profile for you, for each person, and then they figure out like what your type is, right? And they find people that fit that mold, and they either through coercion or greed or some type of incentive, get these people to enter into our lives and love bomb us, and where you start thinking, oh, this is the one. Or sometimes you realize right away, this person is crazy, or this person is fucking with me. And that's how I found out that I had a handler break cover and tell me in 2020 that's what she had been assigned as in my case. Do you think some of these people are even hybrids? Like they're not even human? Did you ever think of that?
I mean, let's think about this. What is human? We're human beings, right? Homo sapiens sapien, right? But then there's people walking around here with huge amounts of like Neanderthal DNA and other like human, like evolutionary predecessors, subspecies, like in different concentrations. Well, there are other people walking around that I feel like also have extraterrestrial or ultra terrestrial genetic markers. So it's hard to tell. I think that 1/3 of the population is susceptible to hypnosis. Another third is somewhat susceptible to it, and the last third is not. The ones that are easily hypnotized, those are the folks that are oftentimes like roped in as handlers or different types of assets to manage assets.
Yeah.
It's it just, and they oftentimes come from military families or families within the intelligence community or Masonic families.
Yeah, this girl wants to call in. She said she was just she's on Rumble. She said she was in the mental hospital, and she wants to ask you a question. I told her she has my phone number. I said, call my phone if you want to call in, because like I haven't had the money to pay the call-in studio. Like I haven't. It's like, so like I told her just to call my phone if she wants to call in, and then maybe she could ask you a question. So Brooke, if you're hearing this, call my phone. And if anybody wants to donate to turn the phone lines on, it's been rough. I got to pay StreamYard. It's nuts. Anyway. Anyway, but yeah, it's
you're hitting too close to the truth, man. You're hitting in areas that's why you're getting attacked, is because you're shining a light on subjects that they want to keep hidden. And,
I went and worked construction today. That's why I didn't have the links done. I went and worked a construction job for my friend to try to bring in some extra cash. Like I just did labor for a day.
That's cool. That's cool. That's what I mean. I work construction. It's good. It's good exercise, and it's good, decent money.
Yeah, I mean, because like it's Christmas coming up, and my family celebrates Christmas, so it's like I gotta do that for them. Like
You got siblings?
No, I don't have siblings, but I have a. Here we go. Here's the girl that's going on.
Okay.
Hello, you're live on the air. Can you hear me?
Robbie, it's Brooke.
Hey, Brooke, how's it going?
Pretty good now that I'm connecting with other humans that I think are awesome and adorable and valuable and powerful, and like it's going to be on. It's fixing to be on. It just seems like the darkest before the dawn, because like to me, this targeting, it's like we were in these experiments. And we're okay. Here's what it is. Like, I just got it all figured out, and it's so good. I feel like John the Baptist who came talk about Jesus. Like I want to share the good news. I want to tell the story of the proof that I have in the 3D. I haven't seen anything. No, that's a lie. And the whole reason I can do this is it is my blood, but it's also Evelyn Rose Summit, the autistic girl that I connect with. I can get answers. She was at Montauk. She does everything. I think she's down with Inner Earth because it always bugged her when I talked about the stars all the time.
Yeah. Did you have a question for Tommy? Because he can hear you. Tommy, can you hear her?
Tommy, yes, I do. I feel like when you describe, I think for every MK Ultra, there is a unique individual type of targeting, but some people are in the same programs or have similarities, like Remember Secret Space. But it seems like you and I, like we're in this 3D sort of electronic torture chamber kind of thing. But then tell me if I'm wrong, and then also there's the people where all the people are all of a sudden they're there, they're not, and all the cars that follow me, there's all white lights behind me and like nothing in front of me. I've gone where the streets literally have no names. There's no names. That's happened to me. And it happened with my mom, too. I'm like, I told you, Mom. I told you. And it happened with a friend of mine. Have y'all ever had the roads stop having names?
In the country.
Oh, hold on. He's going to answer you now, Brooke.
Okay, be quiet and listen.
Existentially, yes. And I've been like.
I can't hear him.
Oh, let me put you up to the TV, the monitor.
Clover, right now, outside, come.
Hello, how about that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I turned you up a little bit.
Okay.
My dog is acting very strange tonight, and she is my teacher. Like I listen. I go with her.
Well, wait here, Brooke. I'm gonna hang up so you can listen on the live stream. I'll let Tommy.
Hold on. I'm gonna get clarification on what she was describing.
All right. He wants you to stay on the phone. Go ahead, Tommy. Sorry.
If she could tell me about the 3D torture thing you're talking about.
Okay. Oh my gosh. As I'm taking my dog out, it's perfect. Oh, not that way. I'm gonna go that way. I taught her how to get in my bubble and ground down with her, and I have to be with her. She helps me. She helps me learn so much. Let me go outside because there's another dog. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Evelyn had autism. I'd never been classically trained in it, but I just knew to honor her and to shut the fuck up. That took me 2 weeks to figure out. Shut the hell up. And then you listen, and she brought me so many messages, and I'm carrying a lot of missions. One of them is education, and this shit happens to me, and I'm like, okay, now I'm pissed off about jail, the way they're doing jail. Now I'm pissed off about the way they're doing mental institutions. Now I'm pissed off, and I'm so indigo pissed off and done with it. But anyways, okay. So all this weird stuff about Evelyn, and I look up one day. There's literally across the street from me. Like I think I did a video on it. An autism place popped up, and it had so obvious Masonic symbols on it, and it almost looked kind of gross, like a private some woman. That's what it looked like to me. I've never told anyone that, but it was very assaultive to something within me. So I'm like, oh, the Masons. And at that time, my family are Masons, all of them. And both my grandpas left me their life stories. And I read them, and there's no way you can fake that shit. They were good men, and they walked away. That's what this plan was about. That all the men and they decided we're not doing this anymore, and we're not. And also, to be fair, we're not going to tell our kids any of the secrets. So that I went through so much shit because I was a fucking unconscious dumbass. Anyway, so yeah, this autistic place pops up right across the street. Like overnight, and I'm like, wow, okay, and the Mason, and then so after Evelyn went to the group home, I thought I would go to learn to be the first level of therapist for the autistic kids, right? It's I forget what it's called, but it's ABA therapy, and it's all about. Anyway, I'm going off topic. I'm just so excited because it's like I went through this whole inner child thing, and I'm not being her right now, but that's who I would alter out into. And so, like, it's like Tommy and Robbie are my only friends. You know, like I only have friends through screens, and I hate that. And I don't understand why we can't be together. And they said that they'll hear everything we say if we talk, and it's like. Fuck, man. No, it's not right. I want to be with people. I spent a lot of time by myself, okay? A lot of fucking time by myself. And I liked it. I like myself. I think I'm really cool. But now I'm ready to be around others and hang out together and say, this world.
Tell me about
it's our deal, and everybody's going to do it because it's all happening right now. Because 1221, it's my number.
Well, wait, Brooke, center for a second. He wants to ask you a question. Go ahead, Tommy.
Okay.
So
I'm so excited. I'll turn to ground. I'm sorry. I'm going to take my shoes off. Go ahead.
So you mentioned the 3D torture chamber thing. Tell me about that.
Okay, so the school popped up. These apartments look like they're done by a Minecraft. I feel like I'm in a video game because of the way that things are. There's a park. It's a beautiful park, and no one ever goes there. That's it. And, that's like, and then it's like no one's ever around, and I can do whatever I want, and I'll talk and sing and dance. I'll do everything. But it's almost like I'm like, no one's watching me. And then I'm like, what the ETs might be watching. Who knows? Who cares? Like, you can be secret. But you know what I mean? And there's this place called the Pin Stack. And it has the way that the lighting is done. I remember Tyler talking about that. It's like these, if you were going to, like, bring in, UFOs, it has, like, a symbol that's kind of cool. And I don't know. It's just kind of way my house is set up, and street names will be like very spot on to what I'm thinking about. And the driving has been like DoorDash is a total experiment because they are jacking with the maps. It's got to be driving people nuts, or it's just me,
Okay, hold on.
So it's weird. That's what I meant. Just any of that.
I don't understand how that.
Lots of people will be there or not, or. It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
I mean, you could. Anyway, I'm going to stop.
I'm not following. Like, so I deal with like dissociation and like derealization and depersonalization. It's just different forms of dissociation, and like sometimes it feels like I'm just watching everything like an observer, and there's like a movie, or that like the world around me is like all fabricated. That's kind of seems like what you're trying to.
It's almost wanting you to do a certain thing or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we can assign like reasons for or associations with different things that sometimes aren't there, but there are it is very real, and like like everybody lives in a 3D torture chamber. Like it's called the plasma sphere, and as long as if people with the right technology have the ability to, or have knowledge of your EEG signal or your brain print, then they can target you specifically and torture you, wirelessly, with no touch or not actually being there, and they can induce states of within you that would normally be caused by some type of catalyst or trauma. But what they've done is they've recorded and gotten confirmation from other TIs after utilizing something to trigger them, or like some type of actual catalyst, and then they can replay that sequence of reaction in other people without there being any catalyst there, which is feels 100% real. Are you the person that has been trying to get in touch with me? On shows
to talk about the similarities between our types of targeting, and a lot of mine I can't really explain, and sure. I think that's why it's hard for people to talk about, because it's like a lot of it is like layovers. It's kind of how you decide to project. It's like a movie, because I mean, like the way the trees are laid out right here, the way there's the 3 fountains, and Evelyn said fountain, and it's like the crown chakra, and like the trees. Yeah. There's all these trees out here, and as you were saying that, Venus, I was just sitting here looking at Venus, and I was reminded that all of this is about energy, and that we have this Badia area-wide network that Nurse Karen Ann talks about, and that Evelyn has, that activates, like we can teach the kids this easily. We just were never taught how to be in that 0 point.
It's just recently come online.
As our vibration rises, as it's going to quickly do, like, hold on to your hats, folks. I'm voting for the Flash. I don't care what anybody says. Bring on the Flash.
Okay, Brooke, I'm gonna hang up now and let Tommy answer you. But thank you for calling in, and yeah, I'll let him answer.
I know I'm a rambler, and I was super excited tonight. I have a really inner child, and I guess my inner child connected with y'all's, and I've been so isolated, so that could make me very delusional too. And I invent highest timelines and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I adore y'all. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Yeah, and thank you for calling in, Brooke. Yeah, thank you.
You bet. All okay.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like she's going through some stuff. What do you think, Tommy? Like,
yeah, I think that I mean these programs and the targeting program, it can make you think all kinds of shit, and it could and these things seem very real because they can induce hallucinations, they can induce audio, with voice to skull, they can pump voices in your head, they can pump thoughts in your head that you can't distinguish between your own.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that starts to blur the line between like what we know as consensus reality and like things that are that seem they seem outlandish, and they do that on purpose. Like I was talking, they try to make us question our own sanity. I mean, like essentially, the targeting is a huge gaslighting campaign.
Yeah,
and character assassination and isolation, and then in the darker end of it, it's the wireless body area network being hacked. What she was talking about there at the end. I would suggest Sabrina Wallace as a person.
Yeah.
To research her information, the synergy group there, and Dabuma-san on Substack. He publishes a lot of her videos and interviews her, has her on shows a whole bunch. She doesn't really do podcasts or interviews or anything for the most part, other than stuff that she feels um, inclined to do on her own. Like she'll reach out to people that are already, have platforms to share her thoughts and to help educate folks. And like sometimes she comes off kind of harsh, but it's just from having to. I mean, she's also been targeted, but it's also having to deal with people who are just knowingly defrauding people and confusing people and trying to throw shade at her for the work that she's doing to try to help people, which is fucked up. Like what they're doing to humanity is atrocious right now. Like
Yeah.
and what's happening to TIs right now will eventually happen to everybody. I just got a sharp pain in my ankle as I'm talking.
What did you do? Did you hear about the death of James Rink, and what do you think was going? He heard he got targeted at his conference, and it's really scary. Which is crazy because that's two people, like I said, that died this year that were in our community. There was Renetta Jones, and I really loved her information. I was a big fan of Renetta, and then
Yes.
And then also, James, two big figures in our community. And what's weird, Tommy, is I was on a flyer with them. I was supposed to do an event with both of them. And then it's like weird that now they're gone. And I don't know. I'm just worried. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing,
I understand. I was scheduled to interview Robert Duncan.
Yeah.
2 years ago, right before he passed away.
Wow.
He was killed.
Yeah. And he was thinking, he was bringing forward all that information about people being targeted, right?
Yeah. He worked on he helped develop the weapons systems for the CIA, the DOD, DARPA.
Yeah.
And then he became a whistleblower and was trying to help educate people on what's going on. And whistleblowers, especially if they're blowing the whistle on the program itself, they get it bad.
Yeah,
we get it bad. Like it's just in general. If it's something that pushes against the official narrative and the illusion that the folks the folks that are projecting that illusion try to squash you. It's almost like in terms of the Matrix, it would be like there would be certain parameters that would cause code to like shut down a process, and like if we're individual processes within code, and if we start to do something that's out of bounds, then they take action to shut us down.
Yeah. When it was someone in the chat, or Phil in the chat, said he thinks that a lot of mental targeting can be entities, and I agree with him in a way. But I think that the government, I had people on my show who said the government leases out, and not leases out, but they use entities. They use not the government, but the people who do these programs, they use entities. They use black magic that. So it's not just the entities. It's not just the CIA or whoever's doing the targeting. It's all of it, I would say. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think they leverage people's spiritual framework and belief framework. If you believe in voodoo, they use voodoo against you. If you're a Christian, then they use Christianity against you.
Yeah.
And and so a lot of times that can be AI projecting itself as some type of demon or entity, or and when it all comes down to it, it's all the same shit. It's just different labels.
Yeah.
Evil is evil, whether it's a digital contrived thing, or if it's something that is something organic. And at this point in the game, they've already determined that we're in a simulation. Yeah. So if that's so, then And she was talking about the different layers of reality and overlays and stuff. And that's, I mean, that's like the etheric grid of the planet. And then all of the things that are all the foliage and everything that's growing on it and things that are walking around on it. Those are all, it's just bundles of energy held in a certain, framework. And we have the ability to, hack those things sometimes, like with shamanic initiates, things that like psychedelics allow us to step behind the scenes and see what's going on. Sometimes I'm not advocating for people to go out and eat a bunch of mushrooms or anything, but it's people's individual spiritual journeys in that regard can be profound and transformative.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I had a Kundalini experience off shrooms one time. Like a full blown. I feel like I had a Kundalini experience off shrooms one time.
Oh, it'll happen for sure. I mean, I definitely did. I mean, the first, she was saying like streets have no names. Like the first time I ever had any psychedelics, I was at Virginia Tech. It was the summer before my last year there, and a wrestler friend of mine who lived upstairs with me in the dorm, and I ran into him at somewhere, a party or one of the bars downtown, and he asked me if I wanted to try acid and mushrooms. I'm like, yeah. So we went back to his house and ate acid and mushrooms, and had this kind of just trippy experience hanging out at his apartment. And like he'd gotten a bunch of different like swatches of like fabric that had different patterns on them, like on the wall and different lights and shit. And he and I just kind of hung out, and I did like a sand painting with in his carpet with laundry detergent, powdered laundry detergent. Made like a big scene because it glows in black light. And but like that next morning we decided we were going to go for a ride, and we go out and get in his car, and it's like it was dark when we were outside. Went to the pool, we came back in, changed clothes, and walked out. As soon as we opened the door, it was light outside but foggy to the point where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. So we walk to the car, get in the car, and as we're driving around, we drive around Blacksburg and then drive over to the campus. And we didn't see a single car, a single person or a single car anywhere. And we drove to campus, and we drove around the drill field. It's an old military college. So in the center of the campus, there's a drill field where the troops would do drill in the morning, And
yeah.
So it's a big loop, and we drove around the drill field, and we did not see a single car or human being anywhere. And we're both going, this is fucking weird. It's like we drove into a different like dimensional like sliver, and then we decided we're going to do another loop around the drill field, and we came back around the second time. Suddenly we pulled up as we're getting up closer to the old War Memorial Gym. We noticed there's a bunch of people outside. Still no cars anywhere, but a bunch of people outside stretching like they're going to run it like a marathon or something. And that was weird as shit because all of a sudden they were just there. So then
wow.
We went back to my house. He dropped me off, and that was kind of it. But it was just like it was like we were in Blacksburg, but it was like not normal Blacksburg,
Yeah.
And then like when I went to Boise State on my visit there, my second night I was there, my host got some mushrooms, and we ate a bunch of shrooms. And walking back from downtown, as we're walking through like the park there in Boise, they have the rose garden and a big rose trellis kind of deal, And we're standing outside there trying to get out because it started raining. So we're standing under there trying to get some shelter. And I felt like there was something, like there were aliens inside the road, like just behind the fabric of reality, just observing us, watching us. And when I would close my eyes, I would see the Big Bang, and it would collapse back to a singularity, and then it it'd bang again, you know, and it would be a single point of light that would explode into like to encompass the entire field of my inner vision, and then collapse back to a singularity.
Holy shit!
And then as I was walking, then we were walking from the park there. There's a bridge. The Boise River runs in between Boise State University and the park there, and there's a footbridge that goes across, and we're heading across that. It's called Friendship Bridge, and right in the middle of it, there was a "Steal Your Face," like Grateful Dead "Steal Your Face" symbol, like painted on the bridge. And I stopped standing on that, and I just put my hands out up on the railing of the bridge, and it's raining like a torrent, you know, and the river was just running like crazy, and heavy like spring thaw too, you know. And next thing I know, I shoot up out of my body, like 500 feet or so. I could see myself and my two hosts down on the bridge. And I could see a 360-degree panorama all at once of the city and the mountains, and then I thought to myself, like, wow, this is crazy. And then there was like a crow, like a raven's face, like right in my face, like, you know, and it made the and that was back in my body, and
yeah,
and then I just started like talking about like my buddy Nat Mead. He's a famous artist now. Yeah, just get a chance to check out Nat Mead. His art is really amazing. But he was one of the guys with me, and the other guy was Chris Wing, who ended up being my roommate there. And Chris was older. He had been in the Air Force, and had been in Desert Storm. You know, I'm not sure if looking back, I think he may have been a handler. He may have been my handler at the time. Because a few years ago, he reached out and got in touch with me, kind of out of the blue. But he played for the Jets for a while after Boise State. But I started talking. And I was talking about how I was trying to express the multiverse and self similarity of like Mandelbrot geometry.
Yeah.
And how like the multiverse is everything is nothing, and within every subatomic particle is a Big Bang. It's the entire universe, and so within each one of those is a universe, and it's different like dimensional manifestations of the same thing. That's what the multiverse is, you know. Like there's one thing. It's energy. It's the field. It's the quantum field. You know, it's quantum superposition. And I didn't have the vocabulary to understand what I was trying to express at the time. I kept saying everything is nothing. Everything is nothing. You know, everything is no thing.
Yeah, but that's what it did. When I was coming off of DMT, I told this all the time. When I was coming off of DMT, I did a DMT pen for a month, and like it, you know, I would blast off, and I remember like every time I would come off it, everything on my desk looked holographic, you know. So that made me think we're in some kind of biological simulation where they've designed it where it's very real, but at the same time, it's also a hologram, you know.
Yeah,
it seems like.
Oh yeah. Easter the next year, I had another experience at Friend's Farm where I could see the ley lines of the earth and that like that holographic do you remember the Star Wars video game from way back in the day? It was like black field with white lines.
I think so. Yeah.
Everything around me looked like that.
Wow.
And this light appeared on the mountain on the other side, like across this farm I was on. And I started walking towards it, and this is in Floyd County. It's really hilly, and there's like a lot of like wild roses, which are thorn bushes, you know, and like and there were cattle, and like there were fence lines that separated the different pastures. And I walked in a straight line, straight across, like I was walking effortlessly on just like a like a treadmill almost is what it felt like. And I felt like I was being observed by like this group of ascended masters or something that were like around me, like almost like in a like a surgical theater, like they used to teach, like, medicine in, and like I was in this thing and not really where I was, not like, but they were projecting the reality around me, and I was just standing still, walking on a treadmill, and I crossed 5 or 6 like fence lines, walked. There were trees. I walked in a straight line. I didn't go around anything. I didn't climb over anything. I just walked, and I found myself at the far side of the property. And I started getting scared because I was approaching the river, and I realized the light was on the other side of the river. And I thought, well, maybe I could walk across the river. But it was Easter. It was cold. It was dark. It was dark. It was starting to rain. It had started to rain, and I didn't have a flashlight or anything. And it had been, I used to camp out there when I was a kid, but it had been years since I've been out there, Actually, my buddy's grandfather came out right when things started to kick in. And that whole day in itself is a long story. Like, I mean, it's like just everything was symbolic through the day. But yeah, like I realized that I had walked across that entire property, and I like the things that were in front of me didn't impede my movement.
Yeah.
Like on Men Who Stare at Goats, they talk about phasing.
Yeah.
About from particle to wave. I feel like that was the state that I was in was the wave state.
Wow.
And
that's deep.
So, and like I went out there with the intention of like I ate like a heroic dose of mushrooms that day.
Yeah.
And like my intention was to go out there and hopefully the mothership was going to land and take me off. Because I was, I like the world that I was living in and that I'm still living in, it just seemed so at odds with like what humanity should be, and with at odds with itself, really. And I was hoping that it would come take me away, But it was weird because when his grandfather came and drove up to me, I was sitting over down near the creek. He was just trying to see who was down there,
Yeah.
And at first, it wasn't the truck that I remember him having. It was like a green pickup, and it looked like a Forest Service truck at first. So I'm thinking, oh shit, here come the Rangers. But turned out to be my buddy's grandfather, and he called me Football Tommy. Like it's just funny shit. Yeah. But he was talking about Heaven's Gate cult.
I remember that. I wasn't alive, but I've heard about it. They were like kind of like an ET cult, huh?
Yeah, and they all committed suicide with the intention of catching the Hale-Bopp comet. Like there was supposed to be a UFO mothership hidden in the tail of the Hale-Bopp comet. But he came up and he's talking about that. He's an old country guy, old Christian, like, gentleman, really nice guy. And we used to work for him when I was younger, bringing in hay and stuff, And it was just one of those things where he was talking about, he just brought this up about this UFO and the cult and how they just didn't have any faith, And I'd gone out there to try to catch a UFO. And then I found myself in some type of, like, I didn't understand at the time, but years before that, I'd read like a book called The Wheels of Life. It was about chakras and about how, and another book that I think it was written by Bob Frizzell.
Oh, Bob! I had Bob on my show. I know Bob. Yeah.
Whoa! I met one of his neighbors in Kentucky in jail.
Really?
Yeah. In that same the summer before that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's who turned me on to Bill Cooper's book.
Yeah.
That guy was a shapeshifter in jail.
Yeah. I'm gonna message Bob Frizzell. That's a good idea. I didn't think of having him on. Like, that's I can't remember how I got him on. But I did have him on. I just can't. I can't. I'll think of it. Yeah. He's a good. He's a good guest, right? Or his books are good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was like whoa,
Yeah.
It was, and like trying to understand like while I was at Tech, I started having some sleep paralysis initially, and that's what led to my led on this journey to try to understand what the hell that was and what was going on in my life.
Yeah.
And I started having sleep paralysis, and the house I lived in was right next to Moog, military industrial complex manufacturer. Like our house was adjacent to the property there. And when you introduced me to the concept of my labs, that really got me kind of like rethinking some of the things that had occurred that I thought may have been aliens.
So you think the aliens might have been like military now, or do you think it's both?
I'm not sure. It might be both. But it's weird because over the years, like finally, I've been able to like when I've gotten hit with that electrical charge that it paralyzes you.
Yeah.
During sleep paralysis, I've had the wherewithal to be like, hey, I'm not a threat to you guys. I'm not scared. Just do what you got to do. And like I've watched them move back and forth across the edge of my bed, and they didn't keep me in this like they didn't have me so amped up because what happens is they change your resonant frequency to where it sends too much electricity through your central nervous system, and you can't move. That's what that is.
Damn.
And it protects them. It protects you, sort of. And most of the time, you black out.
Yeah.
Because it's terrifying. And your body, your mind wants to protect itself.
And this is like a real abduction that you had, or what you feel is a real abduction. Was it? Did you feel like you were abducted, or like what do you think happened?
I'm not sure. I just knew. Well, the first time it happened, my girlfriend was laying next to me, and I was able to concentrate all my energy on my fingers on my left hand, making them walk towards her. And as soon as I touched her, it grounded me out, and I woke up and I was able to move.
Yeah.
Next time it happened, I was by myself, and then it continued to happen. I mean, it still happens from time to time, and not with any regularity. It's always kind of like just when I'm not thinking about it, And
yeah.
And then, like when I first started studying and trying to research Robert Duncan and Operation Soulcatcher, that night I just driven back from Kansas City from seeing my kid 2 years ago, and I had radiation burns on my face, and like my beard fell out on one whole side from being irradiated while I was driving.
Wow.
And, so I was trying to understand more about the direct energy weapons and that aspect of it. And that night I got hit really hard, and it felt like the same thing as this sleep paralysis, like getting like overcharged, like over amplified, like in central nervous system for resonant frequency. And like that night I was in this hellish loop of where I just kept falling, and then I'd spin and I'd be there and fall and spin and be there and kind of like that was like I was being punished for trying to find out what was going on,
Yeah.
And but just craziness. And like the pictures I had taken of my face, dude, I had 70,000 plus pictures and videos and screenshots disappear off my phone last week.
Wow. So someone's in your phone fucking around all the time.
AI.
So they program AI to do it, or like,
yeah. I mean, like I was using AI to try to map a strategy to to get some justice, like to try to like sue, like I had a FBI profiler tell me that he was a profiler and say it was the FBI, and then try to walk it back when I asked him if he could put me in touch with anybody that to help investigate the hate crimes and civil rights violations that I've been like enduring since 2018. And then he like flipped the script and tried to say that he was just joking, that he was a female body inspector and just dumb shit. And then I just dropped it and reached out to him about a year and a half later and asked him about this was in 2021, and then 2023 I reached out again to ask him if he could if I could meet with him to talk, and just talk about what's going on, and maybe he could put me in touch with somebody. And he agreed to meet with me, but then he started giving me the runaround and shit. But I did ask him what I needed to do to get off the terrorist watch list, and he said that I'd been off the list for years, which was confirmation that I had been on it. And because those things are determined through the FISA courts, he broke federal like secrecy laws in telling me that. Wow. And then when I asked for help, he violated my rights through deprivation of civil rights by not investigating, not putting me in touch with somebody that could help. Along with there was a guy who played football at Virginia Tech, 6 years behind me, who is he's the senior agent at the Roanoke and Bristol, Virginia field offices, and he played football at Tech, and then in the NFL for Charlotte Panthers, Dave Cadella is his name, and like I reached out to ask on the Virginia Tech football alumni page on Facebook if anybody had a contact for Cadella, and one of his teammates gave me his personal cell phone number, which I called from multiple different lines to make sure that my calls and texts weren't just being subverted, and he never once responded, which is also deprivation of rights. Because he knows who I am. I mean, there's no way he didn't know who I was, especially since he's like on the sidelines on Saturdays for Tech. I didn't even know the guy existed until one of my former friends from college mentioned it to me, how he and his wife were buying a new house, and his wife was the realtor for him. And that's how he was put in touch with him. And I think AJ may be a handler too. He was in the fraternity that I started hanging out with when I was still at Tech, after I started becoming somewhat disillusioned. And two of his fraternity brothers were the ones that lured me to, or one of them was the one that lured me to New Orleans when I underwent that horrible attack, like when I was drugged and abducted.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, and that guy was in the same fraternity, and that guy had been in the military, and he was a little older too, and he was the SGA vice president at Tech at the time. And the guy who I went off with that ended up stranding me or leaving me alone with these two, I wound up in a situation with no place to stay, and these two chicks just suddenly appeared that were trying to entice me into a threesome, and they drugged me, and but that guy's mom was dean of students at the time. And I was told that years later that I had been taken there. That was also I was taken there the day that Tech announced that I was leaving Tech.
Yeah.
And so it was. I mean, I had before we left to go to New Orleans, I had a press conference in my off-campus, house, my bedroom, my off-campus house.
Yeah.
ABC, NBC, and CBS affiliates all there.
Damn.
It was weird. And then I was so agoraphobic after that. Like, got back to Blacksburg after I guess that Wednesday, and I was supposed to go see Parliament Funkadelic that night.
Oh, I love Parliament Funkadelic.
And I was so weirded out I couldn't leave my room.
I saw them. I saw them before. I saw them in Harmerville here in Pittsburgh. Like it's so crazy you said that. Like I did see them live. And that was like 15 years ago I saw them. You know, like they were torn still back then. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I met George Clinton at a fucking Flying J truck stop in New Jersey years later. And
no way.
About that, and he became an advisor for for Music for Mental Health Board of Advisors. He and like John Prine and other people I'd met just through the music industry.
Yeah,
like Bernie Ledden from the Eagles, and Alex Call from Clover. They wrote 8675309 Jenny. He was actually my roommate in Nashville for a while.
Timbo in the chat says nice. He says George Clinton might be an ET. You know what? I think that people like people with like who else I think was an ET honestly was Prince. It seemed like Prince was on another. He was either like really high on coke all the time, or he was on another planet, or he was really gay or something. I don't know. His music's good though. But you know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing wrong with if he's I didn't mean that as
Maybe he was high on gay space coke.
I think so, right? I think he was, that's just gay space coke. We need to make a shirt out of that, like we have gay aliens high on gay space coke on a t-shirt. That would be hilarious. It'd be offensive to people, but it'd be funny as hell, that would be hilarious, man. Holy shit, Yeah. You come up with some good ones, Tommy. Yeah. Like, oh
try.
Man.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Hey, you good, man? I produced. I've been producing some new music.
Yeah, we'd love to. Can you play some stuff tonight? That'd be amazing, man. If you could.
I'll say I got a new studio version of Trap House Cotillion.
That's sick.
And the follow up to it's called Cornbread.
Oh, I didn't hear Cornbread. Can you play both? That'd be great, man. That'd be amazing.
Let me see if I can play the studio version through the phone. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh shit! Sorry. Hey there. Gonna have to go to a different page here for a second. Y'all good with that, right? Y'all good with that, huh?
I hope he can play it. I'll ask him, Jason, for sure. I'd like to see some skateboards too, for real. That'd be cool. Yeah. And his art, definitely. We got to see his art and his skateboards. Yeah, he still has that one skateboard for me. I got to get it. I keep. Yeah. I smoked weed like a half hour ago, so I'm pretty stoned. So how's everybody doing tonight? Is everybody ready for Christmas? I'm sure not.
Hold on. Could you hear it when I was playing?
Hey, Colleen, good to see you. She said, I couldn't hear anything, Tommy. That's why I was just talking to the chat. I couldn't hear anything. Hey, Colleen, good to see you. Maya, Starfire, good to see you. It's like a family in here. That's what I love it. That's what I love, this audience, because we're all like a family. That's why I don't ever I try not to ban people, and if I do it, I try to let it go. Like I want everybody to be able to come and you can express your opinion. That's fine as long as you're not rude to people, and like we can all, because everybody for the most part gets really along in here and everybody has fun. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, Christmas Eve or Christmas. I don't have a guest yet, so I got to figure that out. I don't know who I'm going to have yet, or I'm trying to get some people, and I'm trying to get someone now. So stay tuned for that. But if not, if I don't have a guest, I'll just do a call-in show. You know what I mean? We haven't done a call-in show in a while, but I would have to really put it out there because, I would want to get a bunch of people to call in. No, Tommy went out. He'll be back. Hopefully he can play it. If not, maybe he can play it regularly. Let's see what's going on. He's not back yet. You know what I could do? If he wants me to play it on YouTube, I could just play it on YouTube and share it. I wonder if I could do that. I don't know. I can pull up YouTube if he comes back. I don't really have nothing to say. We can have more people call in. Oh, here's Tommy.
Was that? Were you able to hear any of that?
I wasn't able to hear anything.
Well, shit. Like, if I call you, I can play it over the phone. You can hear it that way.
Do you want to do that? And
then I'll just jump back on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have my number. Yeah. Okay.
I think at 8. Can you text your number to me real quick?
Yeah. Let me text it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have it. Yeah, we've been back. That's how I've been communicating with you. Yeah, I got you, Rob. Hold on.
I'm texting it anyway. That way you have it. My phone number might end up being the call-in number, guys. All right. Hello? I can hear you. Yeah. I'll put your phone up to them. I'll put the phone up to the microphone.
My technology's being an asshole. Did I tell you about the woman that contacted me from Finland that told me that ChatGPT or that a bunch of different AIs kept mentioning me?
Really?
To her, and then they started associating me with her.
Wow, that's insane.
They're calling us 5G activists.
Wow, that is crazy.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice person. Very intelligent. She's got some really cool information she was able to pull together.
Yeah. I was thinking, Tommy, maybe I could just, if it's on YouTube, maybe I can just pull it up and share my screen and play it.
It's not on YouTube yet.
Oh. I love this.
Yeah, it's
Who did this, Tommy?
I did. I produced it. It's just a microphone.
No, I was like, who's the singers though? Did you do it with AI?
I'm God. The sister friend of mine in town. Couple of baddies. She's my hype man.
Got some fine assholes up in the limousine. And got a call up in the little ding-a-ling. Bitches and cornbread.
Grand basis. That's another little thing we're working on.
That's good, Tommy.
And then I talked to my buddy who owns the studio that we did it at the end there.
Yeah.
You know, just some vocal processing stuff. But here's the follow up. It's called Cornbread. It's like the sequel, you know.
Yeah. This is sick.
Kick it with the crew, get a whole block sticky, well it's sticky, Bridget the beauty queen, chicken love, I want a real name, Mama love, Ricky also love the Ricky might slip people, Ricky, you wake up stuck with Betty's belly, up all night, rockin' to the rhythm of the microwave, what? Mama with that bitch and call. Love me like a freaking ball. Love me like a mobile ball. Love her back it up and all. Crystal ball with penny hall. Mom like a masterpiece. Mom like a masterpiece. Shine like a eternity. Stone like a pound of beef. Bigger than a rattlesnake. You like an earthquake. Bigger than a milkshake. Cooking up the shake and bake.
I love this.
Thank you.
Cornbread queen, picture like the dead. She'll tell you that she love you while you're reaching in your pocket. Picking up the paper while you're rubbing on your pocket. Bitches eating cornbread. Bitches eating cornbread. Back a little chippy, moving, going to the bitch, settle for a whippy, magnate for the chicks, they gon' eat building up a wiki, whole crew, freaky, cornbread, ain't no slime, trapped in the leg, got punched in the eye, hands so fine, make the grown man cry, if you blink too long, she gon' take your 50.
Tommy, I was gonna say, it sounds like you tapped into like that style of trapolation. I want to talk to you about that. I love that.
It's funny you say that because the name of the project is Trapalachian All Stars.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, jump back on. I want to talk to you about that if you want to. Yeah.
Hold on, I want to play one more. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's not that great quality. It's we got to find a better way. We got to find a better way because it's not coming through that great.
Bro, it's a short one. It's about the targeting.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, play it. Yeah, we'll listen to that.
There's two. There's Porcupine or Hotlines Cold Crimes. Which one?
Hotlines Cold Crimes. That's sick.
Okay. Cold Crimes.
I got to hear about this Trapolation All Stars. This sounds sick.
Yeah, man. I got you. Here you go.
my rhymes, and I'm pushing kilos. Bitches want me heroes. I'm so cowboys, dead in zeros. Screenshots and leaves from. Bitches playing games till somebody's from. Pop goes a pop, pop, pop goes a weasels. Pop, pop, go to red soda, pop in a needle swinging baseball. That guy was bigger, they whine and good and blowing. They mind and spit polish and shine. Secret handshake and shine on the level for line. More compass for the story, white glove and unkind. They're hitting handy at the land with a cloak and a dagger. One of these days, you don't try to step on my swagger. Thirsty, 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 they all talking shit at the magic I'm working. Max getting that, tax getting whack, trackers getting tracked, no ass getting doors in your photo with khaki flags. I'm causing panic attacks from max to stacks. Bitches twisting the facts with Frankenstein, yeah, they calm down. Relax, get up, stand up. Pull your pants up, you make me wanna throw up. Wanna scream at the top of my lungs so we grow up. You better slow up before you blow up. I call you out, but you refuse to show up. Put up or shut up. You better wear a glove. Chop a sick nuts. Trying to step such a manufacture my ruts. My case is open and shut. I found a mineral case to kick you right in the gut. Take everything you own till you're living in us. Thirsty, 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 thirsty. They all talking shit at the magic I'm working. Trackers getting hacked, trackers getting hacked, trackers getting tracked, no ass getting doors in your photo and khaki flags. Causing panic attacks from racks to stacks. These bitches twisting the facts. Frankenstein, yeah, they calm down. All these tucks and cuts, cops, sucker sluts. So cowards in the yard and Tyson's got chickens. Uncle Ben's got the dice, and my rhymes be slicing the dice. Suckers catching itch over Jesu blade, Jesu Gonzo. Cooler than the bombs, though.
Yeah, this is really good. You know what, Tommy? I want you guys to do an intro for me. Like that'd be, because like the one I play sometimes, it's a complicated thing. It's my ex podcast partner made it for me, and like she doesn't like me anymore, so I can't really play that intro. So I'd love that. Oh yeah, do you want to hop back on?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'll see you on there. I think he's gonna hop back on, guys. That's really good. That was really good. I gotta ask him about this. If you notice, like if you're on TikTok, there's a whole new style of music out, and I don't think it's new, but it's like it's being termed mostly like from what I've seen on TikTok. I don't see it on YouTube, but it's called trapolation. And we're gonna talk to Tommy about that right now because it's sick. It's really good. Like if you like rap and you like like mixed music, yeah, it's unbelievable. It's really good. Tommy. Oh, I'll ask him about skateboards too, Jason. Yeah, for sure, because I want to see him too. Yeah. Oh, there he went out and came back. Came in and went back out. I was confused. Sorry, my. Hey, Vanna, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're in the chat. Happy holidays. I hope you're doing well. Vanna, you got to get a hold of me. You have my number. I wanted to, maybe we can do a show. We never did an interview with just you, Vanna. That would be cool to have you on. If you still have my number, which I think you do, text me and we'll get you, doing your own show if you want. Is he there? They're messing with his internet. Man, they're messing with his connection bad. Hey, user NV5. Yeah, the Steeler game was absolutely insane yesterday. But you know what? What I was telling Matthew Mornian yesterday when we did that show is I think that like what I see from this Steeler team is what I saw in 2006 when they won the Super Bowl with Bettis. And Willie Parker was breaking huge runs. But Willie Parker broke like 80-yard runs. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm starting to see from this team. They're starting to break long runs. The defense is starting to play good. They're really starting to, put it together. Oh, there you are. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, no, what I was saying was, it seems like you guys I've only seen this on TikTok, that like there's this new style of music which is called like trapolation, you know? And it seems
Yeah,
like you got together with some of these people and you're doing the trapolation all stars. Can you
I,
talk
I,
about that a little bit?
I started using the term trapple action like 3 years ago
Yeah.
when I came up with the trap house cotillion thing.
Yeah.
And, like I don't know how I guess they did just they came to the same conclusion I did. These are just some local folks I'm working with though. And
But they're like, there's other people doing it, and I've seen a bunch of people with like, because I took sort of the tag trapolation on TikTok, and like
yeah,
I saw there a bunch of different people are tagging it, like, and it's like, it seems like it's like a country with rock, with rap, with like swag, you know?
it's hillbilly hip hop. It's hill hop.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
It,
it's
The reason why it's because it's not anything like, it's not like nothing against Jelly Roll, but like, it's not like Jelly Roll, where Jelly Roll's from the South and stuff like that. But like, he got too popular, and I don't know. I never really got into his music. If you know who I'm talking about, he's
I know
real big.
yeah.
But
He's,
like,
he,
like this is more like what you guys are doing is more raw. You know what I mean? It's like underground. It's like raw. It's like, I can't get into like mainstream shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I like the fact that it's like raw. That it's like, I think it gives it more of a vibe.
yeah.
It comes off stronger. And I love that it has a lot of swag too. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like to do this Trapple Ashton style, you got to have swag.
Yeah, it's 808s and banjo rolls.
Oh, that's sick. Wait, what is eight? So it's an 808 drum beat.
Yeah, 808s and banjo rolls, like like bluegrass instrumentation, 808s, like
Yeah,
electric guitar. Just it's everything in the kitchen sink. You know,
yeah, I
I
love
got some.
that.
I got songs that I got bagpipes on and sitar on songs, theremin,
Yeah,
like just different sounds, mixed in with that stuff to get to have continuity, but um, also to give it enough like sonic differentiation to where not everything sounds the same.
Someone asked if you created with AI. I said I'll just answer. He said no, because I asked him that when he was on the phone. He got together, but there's other people doing this style now. There's other people doing this trapolation, and you're doing an album called with the Trapolation All Stars, right?
Yeah, I think the working title for the album is Three Chords in the Truth.
That's sick. And you just teamed up with these other people who are doing the style of trapolation.
Yeah,
That's fucking sick, man. That's awesome. I mean, this is like, I think you could really go somewhere. Like, I
yeah.
really do. I
Wait,
think it's that good.
I mean, right now I've got more than an album's worth of material done, and we're in the process of like trying to figure out just the cover art and all that stuff, and like it's like redneck Wu-Tang Clan.
That's a good analogy. Redneck
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan. I love that.
People from different musical backgrounds,
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got its own. I love it, man. I think it's really cool.
I was a member of the World International Bluegrass Band, and one of my early mentors and kind of the person who produced my first like real like demo. I did a couple of recordings before that myself, but they were kind of loose and kind of all over the place. But it was a guy named Butch Robbins, and he's a member of the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. And the banjo, like he's the guy that inspired Bela Fleck to move away from bluegrass to kind of explore other song forms, musical forms. Butch was he was a member of the Bill Monroe's Bluegrass Boys, who was the father of bluegrass music, and but also the Newgrass Revival, and then he was a sideman for Leon Russell and the Harry James. He played for the Harry James Orchestra and shit like that.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like when I was in Southern California, I did recording. I did a bunch of studio work for this guy who in trade produced some songs for me, but he worked with a group called Suburban Noise Records, Suburban Noise All Stars, which was like Bubba Sparks and the Cottonmouth Kings and all those guys. And I ended up opening a kind of a country hip hop festival 2 years ago, where Bubba was the headliner.
Wow, that's cool.
It's funny. This chick said she wanted to go, and I said, "Well, okay." And I called him, ended up opening the show, and then she didn't get back in touch with me. I was like, "Come on!" So I was trying to get her to let her know that we had backstage passes so she could meet all of her these other groups that she liked, and she didn't respond.
Huh?
It was funny. Yeah, I wore a wrestling mask with a cowboy hat.
That's cool. Yeah. Man,
and
this
first song, I pulled my mask off and said, "Surprise, bitches! It's me all along."
I got a question for you, Tommy. So, like, you've had weird shit happen to you your whole life. Have you ever had any like weird shit happen on Christmas or anything like strange or paranormal or anything like really weird ever happen on Christmas?
2 years ago, I went to my aunt's for Christmas Eve, and this truck, like work truck with a ladder rack on the back of it, had Christmas lights wrapped on it, had followed me into the cul-de-sac where my aunt was, where my aunt lived. And I got out of the van, and my sister's at the door, and she goes, "Hey, you left your interior light on." So I went back and turned the interior light off, and then went on inside. And then as I was doing that, this truck pulls into the cul-de-sac, turns around, and kind of leaves. And then my cousin comes inside later and says, "Hey man, the interior light of your car's on." So they had stopped, and they'd come back and turn the dome light on in my van, because I just turned it off, try to kill my battery. And just then that day, that night when I left, I was being followed, and had the EMF readings in my van went through the roof. I got a tri-band, like meter, and so I pulled over and let the car pass, and then got in behind them, and they were doing like they ran red lights and shit, trying to get away from me, and I was just gonna follow them, see where they went.
Holy shit!
Then I get back to the house, and I did a post on Facebook when I was still on there, and a friend of mine that I'd met in Asheville when I lived down there in 2011 or 2010, who was homeless at the time, brilliant guy, who he contacted me and said, "Hey man," he's like, "Don't let them know, just don't post that kind of shit, And so I ended up taking it down, and they had a conversation, and I didn't realize it at the time, but he had been a fan of mine when I was in college playing football. And he was from Michigan initially, and had gone in the Marines. And when I met him in Asheville, he was homeless, and I just took him a bunch of clothes and stuff, after I met him, warm stuff and like things to try to help him out, because I was had the mental health advocacy at the time, and he was obviously having some struggling from some mental health issues, as most homeless folks are. And I never realized that he knew who I was before. Outside of that, like he had been a fan of mine when I was in college, and I didn't realize it's hard to fathom how many people know me from that, nationally, because I was like second week of my freshman year, I was leading the nation in scoring. All of a sudden, I was, Sports Center and like all the time,
Wow, that's amazing.
It was weird, and I got when I was homeless in LA, I got recognized standing on the corner by somebody.
Wow,
it was weird.
You were homeless in LA?
Yeah, after I fell and fractured my skull in 2003, I wound up homeless for about 18 months.
Damn.
Yeah, and the lived in Malibu for a good period of that time. But
There's some weird shit that happens in Malibu. I heard. I know Robert Stanley investigated those rocks there or something. I know Sovereign Cosmic Wildman. The chat always talks about it. Something about the Malibu. Yeah, I can't remember. Robert Stanley investigated a bunch of shit in Malibu. There's some weird shit that goes on there for sure.
I think he was part of our. I think he came on the podcast I was on with Susie and Bree, and he kept losing contact. I mean, the cell phone signal in Malibu is awful.
Yeah,
he was driving around a truck. It was weird. Laurel Canyon Air Force Base is right there. That's supposedly where they filmed the moon landing, and that's the one that Jared Leto owns now with his cult.
Wow. Jared Leto's a weird dude. He is. He's a weird dude. I don't know. Everybody in Hollywood's weird, though, right? I don't know.
Yeah, man. Like they get their fucking talons in you, and and they corrupt people. That's how the people who typically who have major success there. It's all conscripted, man. They're all part of it. They don't let people have that much influence on the general public unless they have, leverage on them.
Yeah.
I wound up going to a party with a buddy of mine who passed away a couple years ago, who I'm pretty sure was CIA. His dad was a retired general. And John was retired at 40, He was professional skateboarder / professional skier. And had 11 acres in North Malibu with 2 houses on it. And that's how I ended up in Malibu because of him. But he took me to a party at Chris Vitor's house. No, not Chris Vitor. Chris Vitor was the guy's. Chris. Oh shit. Can't remember the guy's name, but he is having a housewarming. He just bought one of those famous Hollywood Hills houses.
Yeah.
And I think his grandfather invented Jell-O.
Yeah.
Like the guy was just loaded, and his roommate. No, it was Chris Vitor. That's right. And then his roommate in college was John Leja or Leja, who produced like Mo and Dave Matthews Band and a bunch of folks.
Wow.
But yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Vitor.
Yeah. Well, this was awesome. I didn't realize we went for an hour and 30 minutes. Is there anything you want? Oh, Jason would ask if he could see some of your skateboards. Jason wanted to know. Do you have any?
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, here's the one I painted for you. Still need to send it to you.
That's sick, man. I love that.
I did some animation with it too using AI. I'll show you. And that's Ronnie Reagan.
I love that.
And then this was the prototype I did the night before trade show for our team deck when I had Sasquatch skateboards. And then
that is sick. I love that.
This is a J. Adams shape from 1977.
I was a big fan of Jay Adams. I love the movie Lords of Dogtown. That was one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
because I used to skateboard for so long. Like it was a big part of my life. It was. I've been watching a lot of new skate videos lately, just to kind of, there's a lot of people doing some amazing shit, like big shit. Like it's it's going. Which one is that? Is it the Bigfoot or is it?
Yeah, that's the Bigfoot.
I love that.
And this is the catfish.
Wow.
That's the Venus guy trap.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I paint vagina portraits. Which I did initially just kind of as a joke, and then people started getting me to. They started like commission me to do them for them. But yeah, and that I've got more upstairs. Like I've got a collection of stuff upstairs, but I got to move stuff to get to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. This was a cool show.
And I still make custom boards if anybody's interested. They're typically about $100 a deck, 100 to 120, depending on what all they, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. And but about your art, you people can find your art too, right? You have it online, or?
I mean, I've got stuff on my Instagram, but like I haven't been able to access that for a while. And I've been like posting stuff on TikTok, but I need to set up an actual like website with just with stuff, because I've got a box truck full of art.
Yeah.
Outside, like 16-foot moving van. It's like full. And like it gets to the point where I just started up giving stuff away to friends and folks around that, you know, that come to the gallery, and you know, like or you know, just selling it for super cheap just so I have space and get more art supplies.
Yeah. Dude, this was awesome. I always love doing these shows. And you guys can follow Tommy on TikTok. He's got an awesome following. And anything else you want to promote, Tommy, before we go?
Peace and goodwill to men and women.
Yeah, and happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays. And
just as far as like promoting, Trapalachian All Stars, man. And if anybody's interested in art, you know, I got a ton of stuff. I also take commissions, and I'm competitive as far as commissions go. And I guarantee you'll be thrilled with the end product.
I love that.
And you know, I also do custom instruments, and I paint instruments and stuff too. So, like, I like repurpose stuff. But I don't know. I want to promote my buddy Rob and his show, Typical Skeptic Podcast, because he's a rad dude and good friend, and he's doing good stuff for the community, holding space so people can share their experiences and connect with one another, you know, because it's not an easy path it's these things that we didn't ever sign up for, that we've just found ourselves in the midst of, you know.
I agree, dude. If you would have told me this 5 years ago when I started, I would have never, you know what I mean? I'd have been like, "Oh, by the way, Brenda's in the chat. She said she misses you."
Yeah. I got a message from him. I'm gonna give a shout when I'm done. Yeah. I've been, I've had to, with the exception of the few shows I've done with you, I haven't really been involved in the community, like as far as like actively trying to, you know. I mean, I just made advocacy, and I've been working behind the scenes trying to put together like a documentary. But, that's been difficult. I mean, you know, like my first day back at work a couple weeks ago, Reverend Dan, the former CIA officer, shows up that day asking my boss for some help with something. You know, and there's no coincidences in that. It's all just, you know, contrived, you know. And some other former like handlers and stuff keep popping up in my day to day.
Wow, damn, man.
Well, I'm just cordial, and then go on my way, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight, and thank you, Tommy. And I'll see you tomorrow. I don't have a show yet, guys, but I'll try to think of something, you know. And